Alright, people, welcome back to Loki Thursdays. We got a brand new episode of Loki Season 2 on Disney Plus. We got episode 4 this week, 2 more left after this. It's crazy how fast these shows go by, especially something like Loki, where it's just so good. You know, time flies when you're having fun, and when you got a show that this good, um, it just feels like it flies by, and it really has been. And now, with only 2 episodes left, I have no idea where the story's going, especially with how episode 4 ends, because there's so many big reveals and cliffhangers and just big jaw dropping moments in this episode. Things got insane. So, I can't talk about this without spoilers. Of course, guys, spoiler warning. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on Disney Plus. Marvel Studios Loki Season 2, Episode 4, The Heart of the TVA. So, let's talk about this episode. As you know, if you've been watching my videos these last couple weeks, you know I have been loving Loki Season 2. I've said that it's superior to the first season and probably the best content we've seen from the MCU Disney Plus series. Now, when it comes to this episode, though, I'm going to be honest, I didn't love it, which is interesting because um, I've seen a lot of other people say that this is their favorite episode of the season so far. But for me, I personally think this is my least favorite episode of the season so far because, yes, a lot happened, but I don't know, I just didn't really feel much from this episode. Like, usually I would really enjoy the, like, smaller, kind of quieter moments and the just, like, one-on-one conversations like what we got here with Loki and Sylvie in this episode. But that conversation I was bored with, actually. I wasn't super entertained by it. And yes, like I said, there was a bunch of big reveals. But many of those reveals weren't really shocking or surprising to me because a lot of them were kind of, I don't want to say common sense, but I kind of assumed that the reveal was the case, and then this episode reveals it, and it's like, oh yeah, I kind of saw that coming. But anyway, let's talk about it in depth, in detail here. Of course, this episode we bring Victor Timely to the TVA. We follow up after last week's episode, where also Ravonna Renslayer is now at the Citadel at the end of time alongside Miss Minutes with the dead, zombified corpse of He Who Remains. And Miss Minutes left us with this bit of a teaser that, oh, there was this big secret and you're gonna be really angry when you find out what it is. So we find out in this episode what this secret was that He Who Remains had that had to do with Ravonna Renslayer. Turns out she was the general in this multiversal war. She was He Who Remains' right-hand man, his first in charge, his first lieutenant, whatever you want to call her. And while it's not like specifically said here, it does seem like there was probably some sort of love and romance element in here, like there was in the comics. But then obviously after they win this war, basically he has what he wants from her, and then that's when he tells Miss Minutes to activate Protocol 42 and wipe her memories, wipe everybody's memories at the TVA. And now he is full control, and she, as she finds out and she says in this episode, like, she basically was working for him and doing his bidding this whole time, but she had no idea because her memories had been wiped. So that, again, like, it's supposed to be a big reveal, but I felt that was pretty obvious. I mean, just after that little voice message that we saw in the first episode of the season, I felt like that was pretty clear. But here, Ravonna goes full bad guy because she now wants to take over the TVA herself. So she and Ms. Minutes attack the TVA, specifically the prisoners with General Dox and X5, aka Brad, are in there. And Brad is the one that decides to side with Ravonna, but everybody else, they stand strong, and that ends up getting them murdered with the little TVA torture box thingy, which was really cool to get that actually used in this episode. I thought that obviously it was off screen, but man, it was still horrifying to witness, and especially Miss Minutes doing it with a smile on her face. That is a twisted little clock right there. Brad, he still has deep inside him. He still has. I feel like he'll probably be redeemed in some sort of fashion, but he's he's tapping into those darker roots here in this episode, so that was interesting. We also get the reveal that in the first episode of the season, when Loki was pruned, it was this big mystery of, oh, who pruned him? We find out it was another version of Loki, future Loki, which was a big thing people theorized about, and that was my best theory, and so that ended up being true. But really the big core of this episode is, of course, they're trying to fix the loom. So now that they have Victor Timely, they have the aura of He Who Remains, so they can unlock the doors. So you got Victor Timely, you got Obi, and you got Casey. They're all working down there, trying to fix the loom and do all that stuff. And I thought that was really funny when we get Victor Timely and Obi. They want to sign each other's TVA manuals and all that stuff because, you know, they each wrote it inspired by each other, so that was really cool to see. That was kind of funny. Loved their relationship. I also love just Victor Timely kind of like becoming part of the team here. Jonathan Majors, again, fantastic performance. I love his take on this character. Like, he's so quirky and just like all over the place. Some people have kind of criticized that, and said that it's kind of goofy. But I think it makes perfect sense and really works for this character. I mean, that's who he's supposed to be. And he is the one that ends up volunteering to go out on the catwalk and plug the thing into the thing and do all that TVA science mumbo jumbo stuff. And then he gets the suit on and he walks out the doors and he just turns into spaghetti. And this was one of the few really big shocking moments for me in this episode because I mean, I was like 99% sure he was going to die when he went out there, but I didn't expect it to happen. First of all, as soon as he walks out the door, and second, for it to be in such a graphic, spaghettifying nature. Like, that was really disgusting and gross. I mean, like, you can see like his insides and everything, but it was really cool. And again, I saw it coming, but it just happened so suddenly. And I hope that, you know, obviously we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple episodes, but I do hope we get to see more Jonathan Majors. You know, Jonathan Majors in general is kind of up in the air in the MCU right now. His trial just got delayed to November 20, I don't know, November 20 something. So next month. So we're still waiting on that. Basically, after he dies, this big yellow portal opens up and then like swallows the TVA, and then we end the episode with like a fade to white here, and that's the conclusion to the episode, and it's just left so open-ended. And it was a very shocking moment, but also a very confusing moment because I'm like, I have no idea what just happened here, but I'm excited to find out. Now, did like all of time just get destroyed? Did has the timeline been reset? Are they? I don't know what's going to happen here, but again, I'm interested to find out. And there's a lot of potential here. But again, we got 2 episodes left, which it doesn't seem like a lot. But then again, with no idea where things are going from here, a lot could happen. So again, I didn't love the episode. You know, obviously it was still good. It was still pretty good. You know, especially for an MCU Disney Plus show compared to some of the recent stuff like Secret Invasion. But probably my least favorite of the season. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? And what did you think about all the big reveals and especially that huge cliffhanger ending? So anyways guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so you keep it to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.